Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanora Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. So we have analyzed in the Tattvamasi statement what's the nature of Jiva, Jiva Swarupam, and what's the nature of Ishvara Swarupam, that Tat aspect of it. In the Jiva Swarupam, I recognize I am not what I think I am, but I am pure existent consciousness that being enlivening or enliven this local mind, and it is the local mind that is activated by the consciousness thinks that I am only this. So this is called Upahita Chaitanyam. I am giving some technical words in case if you study the Vedanta. In a serious text, it says Upahita means Upadi Sahitam. That which is as though enclosed in the Upadi. Upadi means the instruments, the body, mind, intellect. So the notions are in the mind. That I am only a local entity, limited entity, as I said, Desha, Kala, Vastu, Parichinnatvam. It's an important statement because it's limited by Desham, space, Kala, time, and Vastu, object-wise, it's limited. And all attempts is to solve this limitation, and I am trying to solve this limitation by doing in a wrong way. That's what the Vedanta says. Because fundamentally you are not limited. You are in fact Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam. So you are not limited by space, time and object-wise. So liberation should involve my recognition. I'm not inventing anything or not becoming something, but it's recognizing. It involves claiming myself. I am not limited by space and time and object. I am beyond these limitations. I do not have spatial limitations. That means I am infinite. And I am beyond time. I am Nityam, eternal, unchanging, as a property of the infinity. And Vastu, there are no objects for me to differentiate. There is no Sajati, Vijati, Swagata, Veda. I know, gada 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 I said. What it means is, there is no difference of any kind. That's what Shankaracharya says in his explanation of the same Chandogya Upanishad. One of the important statements of Tattvamasi comes, where Uddalaka says that the limitations are coming from these three. And what was there is before creation was only Sat, pure existence. It says, Adi eva Saumya idamagramasid. Before the creation, existence alone was there. So somebody asks, what happened to that? Before the creation it was there, then what happened? He says, pay attention to say statement. It was alone was there before. So it is there now as varieties of things. So its same existence now existing in different names and forms. And that existence itself is ekam eva advitiyam. 3 words are used. Ekam means alone. Eva means also alone. Advitiya means also alone. So all 3 means alone. And scripture doesn't repeat unnecessarily. So that means it has 3 different meanings for each one. And Shankara provides, that's why Bhashya has become important. And Shankara says, it means it has no sajati, vijati, swagata bedam. So one is sajati, one is vijati, and the third one is swagata bedam. There is no internal differences of any kind. There is no difference between the kinds, and there are no kinds at all. Sajati, vijati means like one jati is different from other jati. If it is only one, there cannot be jati at all. Jati niti kula gotra duragam namarupa guna dosha varjitam deshakala vishayati vartiyatu brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. This is from the Viveka Chudamani. States jati niti kula gotra duragam. There is nothing of that sort. Leave all that. I am this, I am that, blah blah blah. All this only belongs to this. I am beyond all these things. Desha kala, gotram, desha kala, okay, don't worry about it. And there is no vijati differences. There is no sajati, means in the same species. So this chair is different from that chair is different. All are chairs, one jati only. But within the jati, there are differences of between. This is a lazy boy chair, that is active boy chair. I don't know if this is active boy chair, but different chairs. All different type of chairs are there. That's called within the chair, same jati. Their number, quantity, different types are there. In that family, their vyaktis are different. So you differentiate. That's called sajati. And swagata beda means in the same one, these internal differences. Like within the same chair, the legs are different, seat is different, and each individual part is different. That's called internal differences in the same. So none of that is there. That's what Shankara says. As Ramanuja defines, Ramanuja is a Visishta Advaita. And he says, there is no sajati, vijati, but there is a swagata beda. So he interprets as though the Brahman, only one, it's also Advaita. But in that Brahman, there are internal differences consisting of different jivas, jiva satyam, jagat satyam, all that. Within that, one. That's why Virat Purusha, you have Virat Swarupam, where the Rakshas are different, Isra, all jivas are different. But what we said is moksha is desha kala vastu aparichinnam. Aparichinnam means there is no division of space-wise, time-wise, object-wise. That means it has to be only one, of no difference of any kind. Even internal differences cannot be there. That means I am limited by somebody else. Each jiva in the Visishtadvaita is limited by other jiva. So they have a hierarchy of jivas also. Lakshmi is different, Garuda is different, all this hierarchy of jivas. Some are closer to Narayana on the first name basis, some are on a last name basis, and so on. That comes because of the internal differences. So, what is the freedom? Freedom is limitationless, no limitations of any kind. That means I am desa kala vastu aparichinnatvam. I am free from all limitations, absolutely infinite. That I am is the nature the scripture is telling you. But my experience is telling me something else. I am limited here, I am limited there, I am here, I cannot go there, I cannot go there because I am here. All blah blah blah, space wise, time wise, object wise, because I take the body as I am. And this notion, who told you that you are the body? From the beginning, from the childhood on, because you are born in particular environment, all those things are there. So it's It's anadi avidya, therefore this is called mula vidya. I don't know who I am is a mula vidya. And therefore you are continuing life after life with the same thing unless you attend memorial camps. So it's a problem. I had to solve this problem. One way or other, not that you have to attend here, somewhere you have to solve this problem. How? Claiming myself I am, in fact, is the absolute truth. Why it is absolute truth? Vedanta says, why should I agree with that? This is completely against my experience. Because my experience is all the time I am born here and I have all my limitations. Everybody is telling I am limited. And Vedanta says completely opposite of what my experience is. How can I have? Therefore, lack of faith in Vedantic teaching itself, one problem that we'll discuss later called Shraddha. Called Pramana, the Asambhavam. It is impossible to accept what Vedanta says, because Vedanta says, I am infinite. If I am so infinite, why am I feeling finite? That's your problem. Why are you feeling finite? That's also our question. So the question that becomes is my freedom that I am looking for all the time in all pursuits is to become infinite, and Scripture says, I am infinite already. Therefore, stop looking for it. Stop trying to become something. Stop trying to realize something as though something has to be realized. You're already that. So the famous example that's given is the 10th man story. You're all familiar with the 10th man story. So the teacher students, 10 students, the teacher says, hey, you be a leader, make sure everybody crosses the ocean, go to the other side of the river and bring something back. So teacher assigned these students a work. So all the students swam through the river, got to the other side, and then the leader wants to make sure everybody cross. Says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then only 9 people are there. 10th man is missing. What happened to the 10th man? The fellow, you don't know how to count, I will count. So the other fellow started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No more 10th man. So everybody took turn and found out only there are 9 people, 10th man is missing. Everybody started crying. 10th man is down somewhere and all that. So this going on, one fellow was watching all this tamasha. Says, you are counting everything. He comes to them, don't cry. 10th man is there. So really? 10th man cross? Yeah, you don't have to cry. Where is 10th man? Is he here? He is right here, right now. Oh my God. He must be a miracle person, because we don't see any 10th man here. Everybody is counting only 9th. Where is that? Okay, assemble everybody. Count again, reassemble. Because of the faith in the teacher, because the teacher doesn't have to lie. After all, he has no interest in telling any lie. There must be real truth. But we don't see 10th man here. Where is the 10th man? But he says here he is alive and right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sir, where is the 10th man? Says Tattvamasi. So you are the 10th man. What I am looking for is what I am. Now, what do the teacher, knowledge has to be immediate. Discovering I am the missing 10th man that I am seeking for all the time and crying for it. Once you discover I am the 10th man, then what else you do? Now you sit down and meditate. On what? I am the 10th man. No, after counting 9, you sit down and meditate. On what? Where is the 10th man? Where is the 10th man? Sir, You are the 10th man. I don't think so. How can I be 10th man? Okay, then keep counting and crying. There is nothing more to do. Once I recognize I am the one that I have been seeking for all the time. So the scripture is saying that Tattvamasi, you are that. What is that? That I am seeking all the time. What am I seeking all the time? Everybody is seeking not for existence. Everybody knows they exist. Not for consciousness. They are, I'm sure, conscious. They are conscious. What seeking for is Ananda, happiness. But scripture says, you are what you are seeking. You are that. You are the nature of happiness, because the logic also says that I am looking for happiness all the time, right? Everyone is looking for happiness. Whether you are religious or irreligious, whether wise or otherwise. What I want is happiness. What you think happiness gives you is different. That's your problem. You think that hot coffee is your happiness, other fellow thinks, no, it's a tea. Somebody wants something else, pakodi or bhaji or whatever. But none of them will give you happiness. We all know it. Why? Because more cup of coffee and more happiness, no. One cup is enough. Second cup, tolerable. Even Madras coffee. Third cup, miserable. If more happiness, if say happiness is in coffee, then it should be more happiness. So obviously it's not in the coffee. Or it is not in any object. But we are running after the objects for happiness. So now as a Vedantin, you have to watch. Do I need this? Would it make me more happy or less happy, or do I need it for operation? For transacting in the world. I need wealth. For me to be secure, to live happily, to live, I shouldn't say happily, to live comfortably. I need a house, I need a food, all those things. So I need wealth for my security, because this is the world of wealth transactions. But now I am worried about the wealth, security of the wealth now. Then my misery is gone. Wealth is not giving me happiness, now it's giving me more problems. Stocks are going up, stocks are going down, every day agitation, all the problems. So we have to watch. This is what the discrimination is. What is essential, what I need, and what my greed. Need and greed is different. A human being eats what he needs. No, animals eat what they need. Human beings only once they eat more than what they need, right? That becomes a greed. Grabbing more than what you need. Scripture is very cleverful. It says, earn as much as you can. No restrictions. Dharmic way. Dharma comes first, then comes artha, not before. So it has to be dharmic way. Earn as much as you can. Oh, Taittiriya Upanishad tells you, go. But use it properly to glorify the creation as a beauty for the Lord Himself. So everything that you are to do, offer it to the God. For that you earn anything, everything. So my life itself, only attitude towards it has to change, provided I follow dharma. Because Krishna is there wherever dharma is. This is what the teaching of Mahabharata is. You know, Duryodhana and Arjuna went to get Krishna to their side. Even though Duryodhana came forward as a king, he sat near the head because the chair was there. As an arrogant fellow, he sat, let Krishna get up and I will ask. Arjuna came later, but as a servant, he was standing at his feet, holding his feet with a namaskaram pose. And Krishna opened his eyes, he saw Arjuna first, obviously. Then has to turn his head to see Duryodhana. So what do you want? Says Duryodhana says, I came first. Then Krishna says, I saw him first. So both are of same right from that point. But Arjuna being young, he gets first preference. So he divides. I am one side, all my people are on the other side. They fight, I don't even fight. Now which one you want? You have two choices because you both came and I'm impartial. So since Arjuna is younger, he has a first choice. He said, I don't want anybody. If you are there, I am done. All I need is your presence only. Duryodhana is very happy. He was wondering about Arjuna is going to take all the people, and this is Krishna doesn't do anything and is on another mouth to feed unnecessarily. And the other people are ready to fight for him. So he wants the army and all that. So he was so happy, he took all the army and said, what a stupid Arjuna is and all that he was thinking. And he went to Bhishma and told the whole story. He says, you are a stupid. Wherever Krishna is, wherever Dharma is, Krishna is going to be there. And wherever Dharma and wherever Krishna is, there is going to be victory there. You are a stupid, you selected wrong one. Why am I telling this story? Whenever I see the Lord everywhere, I have to be dharmic. Then only the Lord will be appearing for me. Therefore, dharma comes first in the path of Purushartha. So I had to live a dharmic life. Earn as much, but devote. So from now onwards, question is, what am I consuming from the Lord? Every day I am consuming something. Taking from the natural resources in one way or the other. What I am putting back to the Lord. That becomes a sadhana. It's essentially not necessarily Chinmaya Bhishma, I am talking about Chinmaya. Anything back to the society or back to because society is nothing but the Lord only. So from now on, every time you do something, says, what am I doing part to glorify, to help somebody else, something other than me, I and minus. Not my people, my this one, my that one, something other than me. So that part prepares the mind as expanding the mind. Expand means chitta vishalata. There are two things, chitta ekagrata and chit vishalata. Chit ekagrata means concentration, comes only when I am paying attention to the Lord in everyone. That comes first, concentrating on in any form, say Narayana, Shiva, whatever Ishta Devata that you feel, you see his presence there. At the same time, and I had to put back, because I am taking from that, I had to give back with interest. In whatever phase, whatever form. So life itself should be a beautiful offering. That's called yajna. Yajnartham I told. This is another meaning of yajna, means offering. Called Panchabhuta Yajnas. Manushya Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, and Deva Yajna and all that. There are 5 Yajnas are there. And Rishi Yajna means, we claim I come from that ancestor, my Gotram is there. You don't know what Gotram means. Gotram means I am claiming that I am coming from that Rishi. But what that Rishi has done, I don't know. Rishis are nothing but Veda Drashtas. They are the ones who have visualized the Vedas. They didn't write it down. Visualized and passed it on. And if I don't know what Veda says, how can I claim I come from that? He gets up. He said, this fellow is also claiming that I am coming from him. So to claim, hey, you know what, how I come from a very great family, but what have you done to deserve that? So I had to be able to stand apart because I am standing on the platform built by them. Therefore, I had to do to improve the name of that. So when one realizes Kulam pavitram janani krutartha viswambara punyavati chatena. His whole life, whole kulam itself is purified by the presence of such person. That I want to make, and a janani, my mother, is great by realization of the truth. Other things you have to do as a mother. For a mother, what has to be, she has taken from childhood on. But this is the mother of all mothers also. And I am to uplift that because the Vedas and all that becomes Shruti. That's why in the Kenopanishad, Uma comes down to teach Indra. I know in the last part of the Kenopanishad. I don't want to get into true details because of the times wise. But therefore, I had to rechannel my mind because if you look at your own mind, your own problems, you think there are problems there. The problems get slowly dissolved. No, they said it obstruct the video. Don't worry about it. So that's why they put it down a little bit. So I don't know what I was talking. Sri is responsible. So if I recognize the presence of the Lord everywhere, my attitude itself should change. So from now on, when I say I'm not able to meditate, I'm not able to do, if you ask your own self, because I don't have to tell this is the common basic problems. Comes because of my attachments to that. When you sit in the meditation, it won't come to my family. You'll be thinking about your family only, right? Why? Because you don't have any attachment to my family, you have attachment to your family. So that's why it said love is different from attachment. I'm not don't love them, no. Attachment is you depend on them for your happiness. That's your attachment. Love is you let others to depend on you without you depending on them. You don't demand something, then it's not love, it's transaction. You love me, therefore I love you. No. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. This is Yajnavalkya teaches the Maitreyi in that Brihadaranyaka. This is what she teaches. Oh my dear Maitreyi, husband doesn't love wife, wife doesn't love husband. What he loves is only happiness that she brings him. If she brings misery, next day she will not be there. All that. Whatever. Well, this applies to husband also. His teacher, husband is only teaching the wife there. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Okay. So therefore, my love is I let others to depend on me for their happiness. Whereas my attachment is I depend on others for my happiness. That's why I get attached. So attachment is what the problem of Arjuna's was. That's why he was crying. Oh, that's why he says nobody cries. Panditaha asocha nisojatvam prajnavadam sabhase gadasona gadasomcha nan sochante panditaha. So you don't depend. Any dependence other than yourself is a misery, slavery. This is a statement from the Manusmriti. So recognize that I don't depend on anything else. I may depend on something for my transactional world. Because now I have to depend on somebody to give me a ride. But my dependence on the Lord is different compared to my happiness in that. Transactionally different, but operationally I should understand this is all play of the Lord itself. That's why The Krishna says, what is the sign of a Sita Prajna? Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogadan atmani eva atmana tushtaha. He is reveling in himself by himself, because happiness is not anywhere outside. I am happy by nature, therefore he is reveling because he doesn't need anything. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan. All kamas, all desires are gone because he doesn't depend on this for happiness, that happiness. His attachment is not there because he doesn't depend on anything other than himself for his own happiness. You follow? So I have to develop that attitude. The second attitude is essentially that whatever comes is because of my actions in the past. What I have is prarabdha. What I do with what I have is purushartha. So don't sit and cry for what you have, because that's what you did in the past. Therefore, what is it? Oh, thank God, it is also getting over. Because I did something wrong, now I am suffering, but this suffering is result of my past. So it's now over, karma is getting over. So you should be happy. So whatever that comes, accept it as prasada buddhi. So Ishvara arpita buddhi, offering something, but prasada buddhi means accepting the results of the action, because he is a karma paladata. Therefore, accepting whatever comes to you as the product of your own actions that are offered in the past to the totality is giving back you to the result. Therefore, that is the prasadam for you. That means what? Prasadam means what? We don't react. Whether it's a bitter or sweet or not, if once it says it's Venkateshwar Prasadam, you immediately take it with a reverential attitude, because it's from the Lord. So is all the results too, because it comes from the results of the action, and he gives the results of the action. So I should have an attitude to acceptance of whatever that comes as a part of the gift, as a prasada buddhi. So prarabdha becomes a prasada buddhi only when I can recognize that this is coming from the Lord. But don't settle with it, oh, this is my prarabdha, what can I, don't cry. What else you can do now with what you have? That becomes a purushartha. Yes, I have back problem, what should I do? Okay, take medicines if you can. If it solves, okay. If it doesn't solve, say you have back problem because you have a back. That's the end of it. What do you do? It's a part of prarabdha. Do whatever that you can do with that problem. So don't dwell anymore on that, because that cannot be solved. If it cannot be solved, then what's the point of dwelling on it rather than making my mind also miserable? So dwell on something else, that what you can solve. So this becomes a part of the discipline of the life itself. Remember, this is not the meditation in the camp here. It is a part how I live myself. That's what we are teaching here. Once I recognize I am that, this prarabdha has to go through the body. Body is a product of prarabdha. This body, irrespective of what kind of body I am given, because this is the body that is required to exhaust the vasanas that I have. Lord is not just favoring or not cursing you. He is giving you whatever the body that is required to exhaust the vasanas that you have. So that's because of your own actions. So you need the body in order to exhaust. You need the same husband to exhaust your vasanas also. You need the same wife also. All are product of your own things. So don't say, use whatever opportunity that I have. Then how can I serve with what I have? Should be the attitude. Then my attitude, my life itself becomes a beautiful sport, a drama of life, where I may have to kick somebody in the drama. That's a part of the role of a drama, right? Kick properly, dharmic way. So, if that's what is required, knowing very well, Lord is there in that also. So you kick only that is required so that he can turn towards the Lord also, beautify the Lord. Okay, see, the whole life becomes an attitude, becomes there's no jealousies and all that, hatreds are not there. Automatically they go if I start living these values. And don't tell me tomorrow on I'm going to be transformed. Suddenly, no. It is a slow, steady process. And to abide in this knowledge, it takes time. That's why Krishna, as I mentioned to you, this is the abhyasena tu kaunteya the vairagyena sa krishnate. So by abhyasa, practice, make a decision to practice and practice. You will fall down, no guarantees. Don't worry, get up. Okay, yesterday I fall down, now tomorrow onwards I'm going to do better. So every time before you go to sleep, I said you hand it over to him. You may hand it over verbally, but you may still hold on to it. To next day you will hand it over better, until you hand over completely to him. This is lifelong process. Someone asks a question, he says, how do I know I am going in the direction? I've been in, say, 10 years, I've been listening to Sadaji, but I don't know, now don't blame me for that. Nothing has been changed. Nothing will change. What will change? And this is beautifully described by Swami Paramarthanandaji in the class. He calls it FIR reduction. FIR reduction means what changes. It's not a drastic change. It's not something bang and bang. Now you are realized and now you are realized. It's not like that. It's a slow process because it took millions of years to get into this mess. So suddenly don't say just in this life itself I'm going to completely something. So it is a slow process to remove all that. So by jnanam I can eliminate the total summation, the sanchita karma and agami karma, but prarabdha karma will still be there. I don't know, I didn't go into details of that, but essentially there will be this. But question is how my attitude will be slowly has to change. And he calls it FIR. Reduction means the frequency of perturbation decreases as you go more and more and more. The intensity of perturbation decreases as you go on more and more. And the recovery time back to yourself, time decreases as you abide in the knowledge. So it is a slow, continuous, lifelong process. Don't say from now on I am a jnani. I understand it, but I had to recognize. So how do I recognize it? How do I abide in it? We discuss that after we come back from the tea, but this is the essence of it. We know what is Jiva Swarupam, we know Ishvara Swarupam. Now we need to know how do we equate these two. We call Tattvamasi. Right? So who is Ishvara? Who is Jiva? All this bhakti we talked about. Now we go to the next level of definition of the Ishvara. Remember, what's the first definition? This is Jagat Karta Ishvaraha. Right? I remember, I don't know if you remember. Next definition, Jagat Karanam Ishvaraha. Now third definition is Sarva Adhishtanam Ishvaraha. What is that means? That means the bottom line of everything is nothing but Brahman. Now what is bottom line? What is top line? So here we need to understand who is Ishvara and who is Jiva and what is my true nature. All that has to be combined now. So we started with I am conscious entity, I am existent entity. I hope Ishvara is also conscious entity, right? And Ishvara is also has to be exist. We are not talking about non-existent Ishvara. So exist. So he is also Satchit. I am also Satchit. And existence cannot be limited. It has to be continuous. There cannot be division in the existence. There cannot be division in the consciousness, because scripture says Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is infinite. Now we have to put all things together. So there cannot be two: existence I am and existence in the Lord, existence as a Jiva, existence as a Ishvara. There cannot be two, because existence is unlimited. Consciousness is unlimited. The name form are limited. My form and this one is different. Ishvara's form may be different. Ring form is different. Bangle form is different. Necklace form is different. But it's the gold that pervades the bang and the ring, like all that. The existent consciousness, indivisible, is I am. Existent consciousness, indivisible, is Ishvara. And there cannot be two existent consciousness. Therefore, Tattvamasi statement comes, you are that. I am what? I am Ishvara? No. Your essence of what you are is same as essence of the Ishvara. Let us follow clearly here. What is essence? I am essence. If Lord also asks, he has to say, I am. That's what I am, that I am is a biblical statement also. He went to Moses, asked to say, who are you? I am that I am. He didn't say any qualifications. Unqualified I am. Any qualifications belongs to objects. Infinite is not a qualification. Infinite is only not finite, that's all. So infinite is attributeless. That's called nirgunaha. Nirakaraha, nirguno, nirakaro, nityam, all those words that we use only because it's infinite, we cannot. Anantam. So satyam, jnanam, anantam brahma. That is the nature of the infinite. That is called swarupa lakshanam. Its intrinsic nature. The other one, atova imani bhutani jayante, from which it came, by which sustained which, that's called tatastha lakshanam. These are things that we learn in the Vedanta. But ultimately what it means from the absolute point is undifferentiated, pure existent consciousness, limitless. That is Satchid Ananda. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Anantam eva Anandam. Because infinite, limitless alone is a happiness. That's what it implies. So, realization or recognition involves looking at the mind, seeing the consciousness exhibited by the mind, and recognizing, realizing the consciousness exhibited by the mind is nothing but pure consciousness that is getting reflected by the mind. I want to repeat again. So, local mind has a problem, thinks that I am really pure consciousness and existent. That mind needs to educate itself by proper study, understand that consciousness existent, that the mind exhibits itself, comes from the pure Brahman, which is Satchidananda. It's not some Brahman somewhere. I am that Brahman. Oh, why do you say so? That's why we go to analysis of deep sleep state to have this clear understanding. And that's why those who want to go, you can go and read, because deep sleep state are a lot of confusion in the literature also, and In the Panchadasi, 11th chapter, Vidyaranya talks beautifully about this. Who slept very well? Who is a sleeper? Oh, I slept very well. That's what you claim, right? Who is saying? Mind is saying. But mind was not there. If mind is there, you would not be sleeping. So mind is folded. But who says a mind claims that I slept very well, it is not there to even sleep? Then who slept? Oh, I slept. Who is that I? It's a very puzzling statement. And what is that deep sleep state? If you have to read the whole analysis there, but I am there, everybody sleeps, right? I am there where the identification with the mind is not there. And what is not there in the sense, mind is still there but in a folded form, where the subject-object duality is not there. So there is no subject-object, because I am a knower, this is known, I am knower. That's not there in the deep sleep state, because then you are in the either waking state or a dream state. And therefore there is knowerness is not there, but still the experience of, number one, absence of duality is there. Number one, because no world, nothing. And because of the absence of duality, I am happy. Because unhappiness comes with the duality. Right? And number three, I was there to sleep very well. So I am there. Because I say I slept very well. And I didn't see anything. Those desha kala vastu, there is no there. None of them are there. And no suffering also. Therefore I am happy. It's not a positive happiness, it's absence of suffering. Nobody complains about deep sleep state. If they think they are not going to be there, nobody will sleep. So they know that they are going to be there and they want to be happy there. That's why they want to sleep. Because they know all problems are gone. So in Telugu there is a Nidra Okkati, there is a song by Annamacharya, famous song. So sleep, when the sleep, everybody is one. But there is no everybody, I am there. No world is there. So world comes with me. Waking up, mind comes and the world comes. Time is not there. Why? Because with mind only time comes. Space is not there. Because I am beyond the space. So desha, kala, vastu, parichina, remember that definition for limitations? None of them are there. But ignorance is there. Because I don't know. I don't know that I don't know also there. Because I cannot say I know there. Because the mind is also folded. But experience of the absence of the mind, folding of the mind is there in the mind. Just like those who came early and then we are in the 70s, the Reagan had a problem. There is a missing tape, 18 minutes of missing tape. I don't know if you know it. So like a missing gap between the two ends. I slept here, I got up there. Nothing is there in between. But very absence of the duality itself is an experience of the absence of duality, and that itself is happiness, and that itself is there. But I am conscious of that experience also. That's why I say I slept very well. How long I slept, I don't know. Only I look at the watch and look at the time I went to sleep, because I don't know when I went to sleep also. You glide into it. But I am is present, witnessing consciousness. So I am that conscious entity who is witnessing the waking state and the dream state and the deep sleep state. Right? All states I am witnessing, therefore witness, the one who is witnessing is different from the one that is witnessed. I am aware of the waking state, I am aware of the dream state, I am aware of the deep sleep state, not in that time, but at least I know I slept very well. So I am aware of all the three states. I am aware of the world that is coming in the waking state, that is folded. I am aware of the world that is in the dream state, that is folded. And I am aware of the deep sleep state, because the absence of everything I am aware of, including subject-object duality, there also in the deep sleep state. Whatever I am aware of, I am not that. States keep coming and going. So I am pure existent consciousness that is there all the time, which is beyond space, beyond time. The deep sleep state experience tells me that I am beyond even time. Time comes only when I have two sequential events, right? That's Einsteinian definition. 1, 2 is a time. A gap between two sequential events is the definition of time. He calls an observer has to be there to observe event 1 and event 2, which are sequential, and therefore there is a time gap between them. Therefore the time concept comes into picture. But observer cannot change with the events, then they will have problem. That becomes another Buddhistic thought. So I am independent of the time for me to observe event 1 and event 2, right? The mind has to be there. So Vedanta says it's not just an event, it is an observation. Experience of 1, experience of 2 defines the time. If you have one single experience, there is no time. You may get, when you are deeply involved in one project, you don't know how time flies, because you have one single experience in total. So concept of time in the mind. Space is nothing but simultaneous observation of 2 points. I am just giving you some definitions here. Sequential points defines a time, simultaneous operation of 2 points, that means there is a space between them. That's called the space. Space and time are relative, that's called relativity theory. But I am beyond these things also. I am conscious of the space and time. I am beyond, therefore, even the time and this one. This is called transcendental meditation. Those words don't mean anything. Recognizing that I am beyond is a transcendental meditation. If all these things are objects of my observation, they should not disturb me unless I want to get disturbed. So therefore, meditation, while doing anything, is observing your mind and observing yourself as though you are witnessing your own self. Remember, we just did in the morning meditation. I want you to be a witness to your own body. But now practice that regularly to say, how can I be an observer of my own self? When you are deeply involved, don't get into that. Otherwise, you may accidentally do all sorts of things. So when you are involved in that. That's a part of the glory of the Lord itself. But when you are aware of it, be conscious. When you are taking a walk, watch yourself. Watch your step. Is this body is what? Functioning everything because of His glory. So be an observer that I am a conscious entity, I am an existent entity. So now we are going to equate these two, Ishvara and Jiva. So Brahman point, it's a pure Satchidananda, pure existent consciousness which is infinite. And its reflection in the local Jiva, we call it Chidabhasa. Right? There the concept of Jiva comes into picture. When I identify myself, I am only this local BMI. Follow? Pure consciousness everywhere. There is a local subtle body, and subtle body cannot stay unless there is a gross body. So gross body and a subtle body. Death is nothing but separation of subtle body and gross bodies. The subtle body goes into different lokas to find another gross body. When they are together in this, I am experiencing with this gross body, this subtle body and all that. BMI total is there. The reflection of consciousness in the local subtle body is a jiva. When he identifies himself, I am only this. And reflection of pure consciousness in the total mind or total vasanas, which we call it Maya, is Ishvara. So I am introducing now, it's the same Brahman, again it's a reflection, but not reflection in the local BMI, but from the point of where the creation is occurring due to this total vasanas, and the total vasanas is nothing but expression of the Maya itself. We call it a word Maya, that is the universal force causing for the creation, just as my vasana is causing my own creation. Remember, Einstein was looking for universal force. This is universal force. So Maya is, in thermodynamics, just in the physics. So any change of state is a force required. So if I move this to that, there has to be force, because otherwise it doesn't move by itself. I don't see any force, but I see a movement from one place to other place, or change of state, and that requires a force. That's pure physics. One appear to become many requires apparent force. Right? Because one doesn't, the infinite cannot really become, it's only appearance only. So there is a force that is required from one becoming many. So you say Sadaichada Bahusnyam Prada Eti. It doesn't say Maya there. But Krishna talks about Daivim, Esha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Duratchaya, Mamayavi. So this Maya of mine is divine origin. So you cannot really cross over by yourself, surrender to me. That's how the Visishtadvaita says you are surrender only to Krishna, then only he will cross. But here it says Maya is a Maya, Ma Samaya, that which is not possible. Agatita Gatana Patiyasi Maya. That's what the Shankara says. That which makes impossible possible. That's what is Maya is. Why impossible? Because one infinite cannot become anything. That's infinite. Because infinite, that's why it's called infinite. It cannot become anything. But it appears to become anything, that's why we call it a Maya force. Because the apparent Maya force can make it apparent things. God, I'm able to create a whole dream world. How? Maya, Nidra Shakti. That's called Nidra Shakti. Same as Maya. Same way, the Maya Shakti, one and reflection of the pure consciousness in the Maya is called Ishvara. We call it a quote unquote Ishvara. We call it quote unquote Jiva. And from the individual differences, there is a difference between Jiva and Ishvara. I say I am not Ishvara. Advaita doesn't say I am Ishvara. Because I am Alpagyaha is Sarvagyaha. Alpagyaha means I know only a little bit. Sarvagyaha, we say he is Sarvavagya, Sarvavita also. I explained already what is Sarvagya, Sarvavita. So I cannot be that. But what I am claiming is not this local reflections. Reflections depends on the reflecting medium. His medium is big and my medium is small, that's all. But what I am claiming is the original light that is getting reflected, I am that. Claiming I am pure existent consciousness that I am is realization. Claiming means I am already that. Then only I can claim. So all the sadhanas and everything is only towards that. And we understand, it's called right now an indirect knowledge. Yes, it's all clear, everything logical exists, yes. Then everything understood, problem is solved. Yes. But how come Sadaji I cannot this problem, as soon as I go out, nothing stays. Well, because we have another camp coming up. That's why. This What are the problems? We'll talk about it after we come back from tea. We'll stop here now. We'll take short break, and I want to finish it by 4:30 because I have to catch a flight, and we'll have a quick Gurudarshana. Those who want to offer something, they can offer it. It is a Gurudarshana not for money, it is for the teacher, because everything I learned is from his knowledge and his blessing to me, and that's what in fact his knowledge. I have to tell one story before. This was the last camp of Gurudev was in Washington. We arranged the last camp here, and we had a youth camp at that time also. And when youth camp, the youth coordinator had some problem with the youth because they are not listening to him, or they are not dressing properly as per his rules. So he wanted Gurudev to instruct them properly, and he didn't want to approach Gurudev. Everybody was afraid of. Then only everybody said, go to Sadaji. Then only I realized that I am in charge of the camp. I didn't know that I am in charge of the camp. My business is very simple. Give handover to everybody so that I am free. And everybody was doing so beautiful work, then I don't have to worry about it. Only problems come then. This is a problem. So he came to me, says, okay, let's solve this. So I took him to Swamiji. He was sitting there. And when he saw me, he knows there is some problem. Because I don't come otherwise. Yes. Then I was telling him, instructing him what he has to tell to the youth in his next class, because youth also are attending the Gita. Then he looked at me and said, is that all you learned from me all these years? I said, I didn't understand what's it. I'm asking him to tell something to the youth, and he looks at me and says, is that all you learned from me, following me all these years? I then said, look at it. I just in a blank face, do you really think I'm the one who talks when I sit on near the podium? Then I go. Immediately I got up and put Sashtanga Namaskaram. And of course, these are things that you have to observe. His face completely changed with a pure compassion, from a questioning mind to a blessing mind. Okay, go, with a smile. At time, because it says, when it says, I am not a doer, when the doing is going on. This is a part of the sadhana that we'll be talking also, where akarmani karmaya paschet, in the 4th chapter, 4th or 5th chapter. One who sees that I am not a doer, well, doing is going on. How come? We will know when we come back. So it's not my teaching, it's all his blessings and all that. And whatever you can offer, depending upon what you received, proportional to what you receive and what wealth you have. If you have $1.50 is a big deal. If you have $1 million, 50 cents is very small. Right? So depending on that, if you have what you gain, you offer it to him. That will be used only for the center. We will stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. We come back in 10 minutes and